They shaved me and my kids bald, whispered a poor Chinese woman through trembling lips, her eyes filled with exhaustion and quiet pain. Her story began in a small, forgotten village on the edge of the countryside, a place where time seemed to have stopped, and poverty had become a permanent guest in every home. Life had never been easy for her. With 2 small children to feed and no husband to rely on, she spent her days scavenging for food, collecting scraps, and hoping someone might show her a little kindness. One bitter winter morning, her situation grew worse. A group of local officials arrived, claiming her small hut stood on land that was no longer hers. Before she could speak, they forced her and her children out, cutting their hair as a form of humiliation, a cruel symbol that stripped them of dignity and belonging. "They shaved us bald like criminals," she said tearfully, holding her youngest child close. "I didn't even know where to go." With nothing left, she started walking down the long, dusty road that led away from the village. Her children, barefoot and hungry, followed her quietly. The cold wind bit at their skin, and the woman's only thought was survival. They walked for hours until, by sheer fate, they came across a small ranch on the outskirts of a neighboring town. There, a rancher stood watching as they approached, a man in his late 50s, known for his gruff nature and quiet strength. At first, he thought they were beggars passing through. But something about the woman's eyes, the hollow sadness mixed with courage, made him pause. "Where are you going?" he asked. She could only shake her head. "Anywhere," she replied softly. "As long as it's away from the people who took everything." The rancher didn't say anything for a moment. He looked at her children, their shaved heads gleaming under the gray sky, their clothes torn and dirty, and something inside him stirred. Finally, he said the words that would change their lives forever, "You're coming with me." He led them back to his ranch, where he gave them warm food, a place to sleep, and blankets to fight the cold. For the first time in months, the woman cried, not out of pain, but relief. Her children smiled again, playing in the yard as if the past had melted away. The rancher, once a lonely man with no family of his own, found himself caring for them as if they were his own blood. Weeks turned into months, and what began as an act of kindness became something deeper, a bond built on compassion and humanity. The woman helped with chores, learned to care for the animals, and rebuilt her sense of worth. Her children began attending a nearby school, slowly finding hope again. When asked later why he helped them, the rancher simply said, "No one deserves to be treated like they're less than human. Sometimes, all people need is a chance." The story of the poor Chinese woman and the rancher spread quietly through the region, reminding everyone that kindness still exists, that even in a world full of cruelty, there are hearts strong enough to care. And from the day he said, "You're coming with me," a broken family found home again.